Alright guys, even though we're in the middle of absolute market chaos with potential drops to come once all the trade locks get off with the new golds, we are going to continue with the usual content, and that means we are going to be taking a look at the best combinations with a new pair of gloves, and today that is going to be the marble fade gloves. Alright, the gloves themselves, minimum wear, $570. And while we're on the topic of pricing, I'm going to say all this pricing is accurate as the 29th of October, and it is very likely to change in the future, but the joy is, this is a best combo loadout, so it's not like a loadout to go buy, but you can come back to this anytime and figure out what the best combo pairings are, and just go see what the prices are at that moment. Now, the knife, I'm actually going to use my own knife that I traded up to, because it looks good. It's an M9 marble fade, $820 for this in factory new right now. This is a pattern that claims a blue tip. There's a little bit there, but just getting as much of the color as possible, and obviously getting this pairing with the knuckles can look incredibly good. And to cover the agent real quick, it is Commander Ricksaw, $20. I don't want any sleeves to mess with things. You could have a look at Ava, which is kind of blue sleeves into it. It looks alright, but for me, it wasn't perfect. But what about alternative knives? I think you can use black laminates with this because it has those grey patches of the glove and the black knife gets a little bit of wear, but it's clear to say that although the marble fade combo is a basic bitch combo, it definitely just looks good. The other sort of things you could look at here is potentially Phase 1 knives. They actually look really nice because you get the pink and the blue onto it, and you get like a bit of purple as well. And obviously we have that all through the gloves, so that looks super good. A Nomad version will cost you $465. And if you wanted to have an alternative, here's a fourth one, you could go for the same knife, go for Phase 4, it'll cost you maybe like $5, $10 more, and it pairs more in with the top color of the gloves if you want that to be what you're pairing with. But with all that said, I think that basic bitch combo of a marble fade on a marble fade just looks good. Now, the one issue with these gloves, really, is that they get bad thumb wear, which is common for a lot of specialist gloves, but you can see it here when you look at pistols. The USP, for example, that I'm going to suggest here is the traitor. Now, this is currently used for trade-ups. It's a covert, so the price has shot up. It is $44. You probably want to just buy it and field test it or wait for the price to come down, but it has red and blue, which the gloves have on the palm, so like, it just works so well. The Nevermore is the P250 that I really like here, because when you inspect it, you got that kind of like pinky red into the palm of the gloves, and then it's got like that purple color where the ravens come through, and I think that just looks really nice with the gloves, especially when it's like a $1.30. The Desert Eagle of choice here is going to be a Sputnik. It is $3.30 for minimal wear. This had been climbing in price, I think, since the train collection got removed. I'd say it's still a pretty fair price to pay, and also just note this is pattern based, so you can probably hunt for something that fits exactly how you want to. And then I lean towards the Melodramas for the Joe Brettas. Now, what's wild to me is that these are $6 in minimal wear. I feel this definitely stems from people trying to trade up to coverts, maybe, because that price just doesn't seem right compared to what I remember checking in the past. And I am going to go for the fat spend on the 5.7. The berries and cherries is perfect here. We've got red blue gloves, we've got a red blue skin. It's going to sting you $125, so of course, if you want to go for something cheaper, just go grab whatever you prefer. But for absolute best combos, this is it. And the fun thing with these gloves is there's so much color going on already. You can kind of get away with going for bright colorful skins like the food chain. $6.40 for this. Crazy amount of artwork. And like if you look at top side, you got pink, you got yellow, you got blue coming through. You got everything. So going into a skin that's got all of it as well. It just looked good. I do have to then skimp on some areas like the MP7 Anodized Navy. $1 for this in factory new. It looks alright, but there was nothing on the MP7 side that I really loved with these. A skin that does work quite well, though, is the briefing. So the UMP, this will sting you for 30 cents factory new. And again, blue and red on the gloves, especially the palm of the gloves, and that's exactly what this skin gets. Like, on inspect here, it looks great. And then another area where I basically skimp is the XM. I mean, the blue steel for 12 cents to just pair in and do the job that it needs to is lovely for me. Now, the next time I did look at was the Heaven Guard. It was too expensive, but you can get it on the Mag 7, which completes our CT side mid-tier items, which will be 73 cents. And then we get onto the main items where you really want to make sure things are pairing. So the Emperor 1S, for example, you can go get the Liquidation. Now, what's great about this is it's literally a blue and red skin into blue and red gloves with very unique sort of color contrast. So this for like $11.65. Yes, it's from the Genesis collection, and people hate that, or sorry, from the Terminal, whatever. But people dislike it for that, but it's still a good skin. Again, the briefing can work pretty well here, but I'd say for like the extra $4 or $5, I would 100% go for the Liquidation, so that's what I'm pricing for in the loadout. And just a reminder that some skins like the Welcome to the Jungle look fantastic here. Now, Battlescarred is going to sting you $700, but it has obviously this red and blue artwork with some other colors layered in, and with the gloves, like just here in Idol, it's not the best pairing with the Welcome to the Jungle, but it looks pretty damn good. I'm going to hit you guys with one M4A4. It's going to be the Spider Lily. It's still a pretty insane price in my opinion. It's $17.35 with the drop because China had this shit pumped so damn high. But I mean, it's the best combo in whatever comes with the market. Hopefully what China had been manipulating to silly levels resets. And I feel like I maybe have a sleeper pick for the AWP because the Chrome Cannon just kind of ticks a lot of boxes for me here. Obviously, that red element stands out a lot more in the palms when you're holding a weapon like the AWP, so I wanted to get that in. But because of the chrome element of it, you do get like these different shades and hues of colors coming through. Then you got the red scope. So I think while it's hard to find a perfect AWP for these pair of gloves, this does a decent job. And for the first time in a while, I just locked in on the less desirable skins where they made sense. Like the Hexian, $3.15 factory new. It wears poorly. It's not the prettiest skin in the world. It is blue and red though. And with these gloves, it then just kind of makes sense to pair with that if that's like exactly you're trying to get the best pairing possible. Still have a bit of fun with the Scout Xeno though. This is $1 for minimal wear, and this one again, it's a fun new skin that looks good. You got a bit of red detailing on it, you got some blue there as well, bit of glitter effect for $1. Big fan. Now, on the T side, I didn't go for one of the Darl Agents because I thought an accent color on the jewelry here, there's just so much color going on, you don't want that. So I went for Vipa, Sister of the Revolution. It's still $59 by the way, so pretty pricey. But I do think the skin tone and the tattoos, these blue and red tattoos, just kind of works nicely here with everything. And then the Glock, I'm going to go for the Vogue. I suggested this like over a year ago when I made my first marble fade loadout. Under $5, minimal wear. It has so many of the colors that you get on the gloves, and idle, especially if you get the knuckles like this, it looks so good. I then will give you my oddball pick for the Tech 9. I have gone for the re-entry. Now my thinking for this is, we've got a lot of grey on the gloves, so the base grey makes sense. We've got that deep blue at the back into a sort of brighter blue. For $1.40, we don't get the feature often, so we may as well show us some love here. And then, if you want to derail the market, you know, I'm at Can Derailment. $12.25 for this, obviously, is a souvenir. Well, not a souvenir pull, but it's from a collection, which you can get souvenirs from as well, if you want to go down that path. But $12.25, I would prefer it to be sub $10, but if that's the price for it, to get something that gets the red that we want, and just that multicolor mix with good artwork as well, I think we're going to pay for it. And in a similar vein to the Famis, I just went for a teardown. I was like, color's going to work. I think the Famis does have a teardown, but if I remember correctly, I didn't like the pricing comparison. But maybe you guys can fact check me on that one. Potentially I got it wrong, but this is 50 cents. It gets a color pairing. That's the main thing we're aiming for here. And then I feel like the Gale Signal was made for these gloves. $1.10 for this is going to get you a blue and red skin, which is normally a little bit awkward for pairings. And then blue and red gloves. Like, just absolute perfect pairing here. And then the big item, right, for the weapon skins, the AK. What are we going for? I'm going the same as last time. I think the Empress here makes sense. Minimum wear is going to sting you for almost $70. I think that they go up with the trade-ups, but I can't say for 100% sure. But it's blue, it's red, it then has gold as the other color on it. Obviously, we've got a yellow coming through on the marble fade gloves. Like, overall, this just looks really cool. Get the right craft on this as well if you really want to elevate it, and you're cooking. And I do want to mention that the Elite Museo actually works really well with these gloves, but unfortunately, its price is still fucked at $270 in minimal wear. And I feel like I've been rounding it off on a Cyberforce a good amount recently, but when it works, it works. It's 14 cents here, and it's going to tick a box for us for a weapon that we don't use that often. So that's the best combos for every weapon that I think you should be picking up a skin for in CS2 with the marble fade gloves. Now, I didn't say at the start, but you can go field test it for the gloves and go down to $210 plus. Obviously, that could change with everything, but the issue is your thumb wear is going to get even worse, which means it's going to stand out more. So I think you do want to go min wear. The total price, if you went for minimum wear and you went for the M9 marble fade, you're going to be looking at $1,800, basically $1,817, which, I mean, let's see how that goes in the next week. You guys can come in and let me know if it's now $1,000 or if it's recovered and gone to, I don't know, $2,500. Let's just see how it goes. You can use this as a baseline to see how things change. If you went for that Bale Black Lamb sort of like oddball option, it would get you down under $1,200. I do still think though Marble Fade is just better, but I like to give you guys options. And then, if you decided to go, finally got the bloody rare inspect animation, or draw animation, sorry. If you went for the Nomad Doppler, that's taking you basically to $1,460. So sub $1,500 for a loadout with the marble fades in min wear and good skins across the board is not too bad. But I'm going to leave it there. Let me know in the comments down below if there's a weapon skin that you think I missed off here that maybe does pair a bit better. But I feel like I did a pretty good job here. Fingers crossed the market is somewhat stable over the upcoming days. Maybe you want to hold off. Maybe you want to go buy now while it's low. I don't know. It's not financial advice. I just want to show you guys the best pairings possible. A big thank you for the YouTube members for continuing to support the channel. It is greatly appreciated. You guys are absolute real ones. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.